Hi Luminaires! My name is Jamie Butler and this is the August Energy Update for 2020. I'll be trans-channeling Maitland as she is going to highlight the energy shifts and changes and strengths that are going to be happening this month, as well as identifying which chakras of ours that are going to be challenged, strengthened, and really needed at this time. So if you're an energy sensitive, you can then focus on these three chakras and really give yourself the energy that your mental body, your emotional body, your spiritual body, and physical body are going to be needing at this time. I thank you so much for being here. And if you love these kind of energy updates, please share them with a friend. I would be very grateful and appreciative. Hi, Luminaires! My name is Maitland. I am 9 years old. I choose to be 9 years old. I don't need to be 9 years old, but I really like it because I enjoy talking about very deep things in a very childlike way. I believe that people can understand it more, and I think that humor is very important as we're learning all these really big things, because there's a lot of big things coming in August, and I'm so happy to see you here. Put a smile on your face. Everything is good. Even the struggle is super, super good right now. So if you have been with me, I have had the pleasure of doing last month and the month before with the energy updates, and the shifts that I talked about in July were like really crazy. Like June was very upheaval. Right? A lot of our belief systems were breaking down. We kind of didn't know who we were anymore, and it was like, oh, what to do, and I can't ground myself anymore because it's all so different. And July provided even more of that. But August is different. Remember, I kept saying, wait for August. August is, psst, wake up, get up, wake up. So if you're a sensitive person and you've been asleep all your life, August will most likely be the month you go, I'm awake. It's so nice to see you. And I understand that I'm a sensitive person, and I get it now that this is valuable, that this is not crazy, that this is not woo-woo, that it is a strength that you can use, and it's reliable and you can trust it. So with August, a lot of people are going to be waking up to that. So maybe if you have friends or family members who've been looking at you because you've already been on this path for so long that they're like, well, I don't really understand that. Maybe in August, they'll be coming to you and going, well, I had an experience. I had a dream that came true, or I had a feeling that was right, or I had something that was really different and I didn't know what to think of it, and now it's real. And they'll be a little like in awe. And for those of you who've already been on this path for a while, it's like getting a polishing. It's like getting sharper with more clarity, because now you're not going to have to compartmentalize as much, because the energy that's coming in August is more like, okay, we've been waking up individuals, but now we're going to wake up masses. We're about to reach the conscious mass point, where now it's like the 100th monkey point, where more monkeys get the idea. So the monkeys are the people, and we're all waking up together, and we're like, oh, you too, okay. Well, now I don't have to hide this or just quietly use my gut instinct and not tell you about it. And now I can say, I'm using my gut instinct and this is what I'm following. And the next person goes, oh, that's very good. And you have a conversation with them. It's kind of like the point where most of us have really wanted to be when it comes to communicating about our energies. So this is the wake up month. And along with the wake up, there's going to be an equal amount of let go, let go, let go. It is the point where you're on the ladder and you've told yourself, I've always wanted to get to the next floor, or I've wanted to go here or there. It doesn't matter, up or down. You've been looking for a new place. But to get there, you've got to let go. Even if you just do it one hand at a time, and grab onto the next rung and then let go. And grab onto the next rung so that you can say, I woke up and I'm here. my enlightenment has taken me here. To keep moving forward, to keep following the path of change, you have to let go of what you picked up on. Because if you're carrying what you picked up on, you can't add anything to it because you're still with what you're holding. So equal amount of letting go to waking up. So when you notice that you're like, oh, my sensitivities have come up, then all of a sudden you'll realize you need to let go of poo-pooing them. You know, where you tell someone, I don't know, my gut said this, but I went with that. So that wishy-washy that helped maybe make you feel safe and normal is not going to work anymore. So you'll go, oh, I feel this, and you'll tell your friend, I feel that, that's what I'm going to act on. They're like, okay. And so then you just let go of the, well, I'm going to present it like it's wishy-washy so I can be good, whichever way that person wants to hear me. If the person wants to hear me and go, wow, you have a gut instinct, that's incredible, and you go, yes, I do, and you get confident. Or they go, are you crazy? That's just your stomach. Your brain is in your head. And then you go, oh, yeah, you're right. I don't. So we get more confident, or we get more clear in what we need to let go of in the month of August. So with the letting go, we let go of behaviors. We're going to let go of mental kind of cycles. And we're going to let go of old emotional anchors where we thought we needed to hunker down and be safe. It's not going to feel good anymore. And I like that statement a lot, that it's not going to feel good anymore, because the moment you can identify it doesn't feel good, all of a sudden you're feeling good. Because you're not making yourself stay in a certain emotional place because maybe it was good for somebody else, or it was the place you felt like you needed to be because that was the role that you were playing, but it's not working anymore. And so it's really nice when you start to identify those, like, oh, this doesn't feel good. And then all of a sudden you feel better. So August is going to give a lot of energy in the mental body because we've already been working so diligently, energetically, June and July, kind of jumbling up, mixing it up. Like whisking your thoughts, whipping them up, where you're like, well, I used to think that way, but now I don't know what to think, and now I'm just kind of up in the air, and now I'm just exhausted. So at the point of exhaustion, a lot of growth occurs because you're tired of holding on to what you had, and you're more willing to say, it's really heavy, I'm just going to set it down for a second. And in that second, you go, aha, and you go, I see that. I feel that. I know that. And I can't believe I didn't do it before. So, June, July, jumbled the mind. August is you wake up and you realize you have to let go of things, but mentally you're being presented with, why am I thinking that way anymore? Why did I do that? And so it will bring up a lot of retrospect, where learning happens in retrospect. You know, you get to look at what you did and you get to analyze it from a completely different viewpoint, and especially it's going to be the viewpoint of a more enlightened version of you. So then you'll say, oh, I get it now. I get where I've grown. And you're going to be able to see your growth and see your changes and have a mental conversation about it, and you'll start to feel better because you'll say, okay, I can see some growth. And to a lot of people, growth is like a really positive thing. You're like, oh, now I can see why I went through this. Because a lot of us on earth say, I use us and I, like I'm human because it's easier for you to understand when you're listening. So I don't separate spirit and people. But a lot of us will look at that and say, oh, I'm so relieved that something good came from all the bad stuff we just had to do. Because we're taught that when we have a struggle or suffer or hardship, that it's going to reap something beneficial. And so I know that is your human duality mind, you know, to do something difficult to be rewarded. Punishment, reward, good and bad and right and wrong and black and white and positive and negative and all these extremes. But that's the dialogue that you have faith and belief in. And so you're going to start seeing the benefits in August, the awakening and the enlightenment, and especially the mental dialogue, because the mental is not going to be so scrambled anymore. It's going to do retrospect work, and it's going to say, oh, look what I learned. Look what I'm able to do. Look, I'm able to see inside of my mind and go, I don't like that little inner voice. I'm going to shut you up. I'm not going to listen to you anymore. Oh, look, it's talking again, but that's the old stuff that I know that I don't want. Isn't that interesting? I'm not going to pay attention to it. And so your mind quietly makes this journey. It's now going to be on a path in August of going, nope, not those thoughts. Thank you. Oh, I like that. That's very nice. Yes, please add that to my cart. This one? No, that's an old me. Oh, that one I don't understand, so let's just observe it. And your mental mind is now going to say, look what I persevered, look what I survived, look at what I just did, and I didn't think that I was strong enough or brave enough. And I'm looking in my past few months, and I'm maybe noticing that, my hardship, what my emotional body went through a lot. Or maybe I'm looking at my physical body and it got really sick and it got better. Or I'm looking at how people I thought in my life couldn't do what I thought they just did. And now I'm finding new hope and I'm seeing a new light in things. Or maybe I'm looking at my soul's journey and I'm recognizing how far I've come from where I just was, and I didn't know that I had gone that far. And so the retrospect is giving a lot of fluffy good feelings and some wowness and aha moments, and you're starting to see that you are way more powerful than what you believed in. And then your mind goes, okay, I can look at the future a little bit different, which is the next thing we want to be doing, is looking at where do you want to go. So August, the middle of August to the end of August is great time to sit down with a poster board or something big and just say, what do I want to create? Where do I want to go? Because the first half of August is kind of look where you've been. Look, you just closed a company and you're still surviving. Look, you survived your health thing. Look, you survived your heartache. Look, you survived your mind telling you couldn't do it. And you're still alive and you're on your 2 feet. So it's going, wow, wow, wow. Now where do you want to go? Do you want to live where you live? Do you want to move? Do you want to do the business that you've been doing? Do you want to be in the job that you've held? Do you want to be the type of parent that you've been parenting? Do you want to be the type of person? Do you want to accept more change? And what does it look like? And the crazy thing is you might have so much clarity. You're like, oh, I can't write fast enough. I want to be here. I want to create this. I want to do. I want to have the life that feels like I'm on vacation. I want to have that downtime that I know I really need now, because the quarantine showed me how important it was to have away time from my career, away time from demands. So in the second half, sit down and write all these things out and get more clear about what that is. You must do it, please. In the last half of August, please, 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 you won't regret this. You might feel like, oh my gosh, this is happening right away. But really, we're planting a seed. This is the best time to plant your future seeds, is kind of in the belly of August or in the end of August. And then you might notice that some things come forward in the fall, at the beginning of winter, but really in 2021 is when it's going to start to happen. And when I'm talking about August, August still feels very much an I, like it's here. Here within your vision, it's here within your head, it's here within your heart, it's here. And it's not like me in a global viewpoint. But what's crazy is the world is going to be doing so much stuff. It's going to be making changes. It's going to be screaming. Like the government shifts that are going to happen globally, not just within United States, where I'm delivering the message from, but globally it's going to be shifting and making adjustments. And you're going to be like, how do I get involved with that? How do I speak out? And how do I do these things? Well, how you do it is by developing a more intimate relationship with the I. So get here and really see where you're coming from and what your needs are and how you want to live your life. I mentioned in July that there's going to be a lot of media who's going to be reporting information that's not true. That is going to continue. And I know that doesn't feel good hearing that, because you want to have you want to believe that there are reliable resources out there that are telling you accurate information. There are some, and they're going to be scattered. So we're in an energetic flux point as people figure out on Earth who is going to end up with the power. So it's kind of like a tug of war moment, or a struggle of who's going to be in power and who's not. And of course, there's always the kind of people who want to be in power for greed or power for self and not power for humanity. So when you find the people who want to be in power for humanity, that's where you want to place your vote. That's where you want to place your time and your energy, especially when you're already settled into who you are. Because when you speak from that place, the language you use is more definite. It has more confidence and is going to be more clear. And you're going to be more successful in saying, hey, I said what I wanted to say, and look, I got what I asked for. This is so nice. This is what good conversation is about. This is what it's like to support, to give, and to receive. So coming from the place of I in the last part of August will help calm your very sensitive nervous system and energetic system when you go to look externally from you to see what the world is doing, because you're going to identify the power struggles between those who want to be ruling and taking charge over others, and you're going to see those that are going to be stepping forward who want to come with a community for humanity. These shifts of power aren't going to feel very good. Just like reading the news and seeing that they're not reporting the accurate information, it just doesn't feel good. And the reason that is because that's not who you are, and that's not how you would show up if you had that position and that control. So you're going to find independent, highly sensitive people coming forward with real information. And what it's going to look like is maybe through comedy, through humor, through people on YouTube and the internet who are individuals that just say, look, this is who I am. I'm a doctor, and I know these things because this is my field and this is what I've been trained in, so I'm going to speak to these points because you're not getting the real information. And here's the real information. And then you're going to see people pop out, look, I'm a lawyer, and here's what's happening, and nobody's talking about this. And then they talk from their viewpoint as a lawyer, and they'll present to you both sides of the conversation. And when you get presented from an individual that's accredited in their field, and they're speaking from both sides and encouraging you to be empowered for who you are, those will be some identifying factors that you know you're receiving reliable, real-time news and information. But the sad news is that when those videos pop up, there are going to be people in power that are going to be taking them down because they don't want you to see them. So you'll feel like you're going to be getting your news from a backdoor source where somebody goes, I recorded it personally and I'm going to send this to you. Watch this video. And you're like, ooh, this feels very weird. Okay, I'm going to watch this video over here because it's been taken down. And so you'll watch it, and I'm going to ask that whenever you're receiving information from outside resources, that you trust that you are a very brilliant being of light and that you have an ability to receive words and energy and messages and let it resonate within you. And I'm going to remind you again, and I'll even sit with you as you're watching these videos that pop up for you, to take what resonates with you and set it aside. And remember, there's an undercurrent with humans. It is everything in moderation. If you hear somebody who's like, I'm a scientist and this is what needs to happen and you must do this and you must do this all the time. Really? Not really. It's going to be, you'll feel this everything in moderation, and you'll feel this ebb and flow, because that's the true essence of energy. It's the true essence of health and well-being. It's the true essence of internal empowerment. And I hear a kitty outside the door, and I would really love to pet that cat, but we're not going to open the door. If you don't know me very well, I super love animals, and I like reminding people where they came from, such as in the beyond and what you would call heaven, and in helping people empower themselves. It's why I like to do the energy updates. So this is what August is bringing. Less mental scramble, more time for you to do a retrospect and realize how incredible you really are and how strong energetically you are, and more time to identify where you want to go, who you want to be, and how you want to show up. That's important to lay those seeds now, in the middle of August to late of August. You're going to have these feelings of waking up. Your psychic and intuitive abilities are going to become stronger. And for those who don't feel like they have them at all, they're going to start to appear, because we've reached a mass critical. And more people on earth are going to be living their lives based on an intuitive manner rather than a success manner, or like a corporate where you want to set your goals to make the money to get a life you want to lead. You're going to be living through intuitive means to get the life that you want to lead. So that's a really beautiful shift that's happening in August. Some things that are going to be slightly uncomfortable that I mentioned are news is going to be inconsistent and inaccurate with their information. That you're going to feel like you're getting news from backdoor resources, and identifiers of what good news is that you'll see that they're saying both sides of the argument. They're asking that you empower yourselves, that you do the research. They're asking, and they're showing that they're accredited in their own field. Those are going to be great people to listen to, and to help you feel a little bit more safe where you are. And that you're going to be noticing power struggles. Governments are going to be shifting. Banking systems and money are going to be shifting. It would be a very nice time to take some investments that you have and liquidate your cash and get them more into gold and silver. I think silver is more reasonable because you can have them in coin values, and it's easier to keep on you in case the dollar or your paper currency where you are is starting to fluctuate because of the power struggles, that you would have silver coin, which would not be fluctuating, silver and gold. And it's more of universal, and it can cross over into other currencies and other countries, so it's beneficial. You don't need to take 100% of what you have and do those things. I kind of like the rule of 3, where a third of your investments you have can be in things like properties. And there are going to be some bubble bursts with prices of homes and things of that nature, where they start to drop, but they'll build back up again. So just think longevity when you do things like property. And then I would take another third of your investments and I would put them into like a silver or gold or something that you can physically have. And the other third, I would keep them where you have them, whether you've invest them in mutual funds or stocks or in companies, different kinds of investments, or your bank account. But things of that nature are going to be shifting. And then if you feel like you wanted to refinance your home or anything of that nature to get more out of it, to do any less like renovations, or it's a good time to do the building and constructing pretty much through the end of the year. 2021 is going to be more of a feeling like I need to hold my money to make change or give birth to something new, whereas nesting towards the end of the year, still coming off the quarantine, and like taking the money and putting it into what you have is going to be a better time to do that then. Okay, I'm going to talk about the chakras that are going to be challenged, needed, and strengthened in the month of August. So our third eye and the pituitary and all of this is going to be strengthened. I wanted to mention that one first because it's very exciting to watch the earth kind of wake up together after they've been through such a shifting and change, that the third eye is going to be strengthened. That way you can use it more to come forward. But what's going to be challenged, if you remember in the past months, it's like the heart has been a part of all of this because we had to come down from the head and into the heart. But the heart is the one that's going to be challenged. And last month it was really needed, and then it was being strengthened, and now it's being challenged, and all of this is happening because the heart is going to say, hey, I just kind of got in control, I'm really expressing the emotions, and now we're going like really intuitive, and it's the last thing holding on to some of the belief systems in your mind that you don't need anymore. And so it might go through a deep grief of over letting go of things that you really liked to believe in, but they're just not supporting you anymore. So that's the challenge that's going to happen to the heart. The one that's going to be needed the most is going to be the solar plexus, the yellow one, because it's the I, and that's the one that's going to do a lot of the wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up energy is in the solar plexus. So the solar plexus is your character, it's your personality, it's how you shine, it's your laughter, it's all of like pretty much who you are. So it's going to be needed to participate in all of this because we're putting the emphasis on the personal empowerment. So the solar plexus is going to get really polished. You're going to see things about yourself, feel things about yourself that maybe you really enjoy, and sometimes you go, I cannot believe I just said that. I cannot believe I just did that. Who am I? What was that? But the beauty of it is that you recognize it, and you recognize it right after you've done it. So you'll just turn around and go, hey, I can't believe I said that. That's really weird. I would like to, strike that from the record and say this instead. Thank you very much. And then you'll restate it, and you'll laugh, and the people who are around you or in the situation will go, yeah, that's really amazing. Did you see what that person just did? That gives me permission to do that too. So then all of a sudden, we're dropping guilt, we're dropping shame, we're dropping the, oh, I can't believe I just did that energy, and we're living more in the present, and we're going to start to allow things to come at us, fear, worry, guilt, shame, awful, grossness, joy, happiness, at us and move through us and away from us. And we're not going to be grabbing hold of them and trying to carry them off, thinking that we have to claim this as ours because we're independent beings, and this is mine, and this is mine, and that's mine. I got it. You're going to let fear, when it comes at you, instead of grabbing hold of it and being like, oh my God, this is happening. You're going to see it and you're going to, oh my God, this is happening. Okay. I acknowledge it, I'm seeing it, I'm doing it, okay, I'm moving through it, now it's moving through me, and now it doesn't have strings attached to me, now it's not going to, tell me I have to behave a certain way or do something, and now I'm me again. Okay, next. It's really going to be awesome. That's the whole wake up, wake up, wake up energy. Okay, that is August, and I would like to say, if that felt like a lot of information to listen to, then go back and replay it, and get a pen and a paper and write it down with your own words and see it, and then just see how it resonates with you and how you can use your body to make these shifts and changes to be more of who you want to be. Thank you very much for being here and letting me be the one to deliver these kinds of messages to you. I can't wait to come back for September, and thank you very much for being a part of this community and help supporting Jamie bring these messages in We really like doing this for you. Please feel free to share this with other people if you find value in it. And remember, it's not woo-woo. It's true. It's true. Bye. I'll see you later, alligator. Bye. Thank you so much for being here and supporting this community. I'm very honored to be here to provide this kind of work. Bye.